morning, everyone. Dana with the OT Guide here today. So today I'm going to go over 3 steps you can take as a caregiver, teacher, or therapist to teach your little one how to zip and unzip. So zipping and unzipping is a very complicated skill. A lot of kids struggle with it up until they're 5 or 6 years old. And it requires a lot of skill. So it requires fine motor skills, so the coordination in your child's fingertips. It requires bilateral coordination skills, or the ability to coordinate both sides of their body together. It requires motor planning, because for a lot of our little ones, this is a novel task, and they're gonna have to sequence steps together to complete the task. Upper body strength, upper extremity strength, postural control, the list goes on. It requires so many skills. So it's a complicated task. Hopefully this video makes it a little bit easier for you to teach your little one. So here we go. These are 3 steps you can take to teach your kid how to zip and unzip. So step 1 in teaching your child how to zip and unzip is teaching them how to do it on an object in front of them. So I don't want them to use a jacket at this point because I don't want them to practice the hooking and unhooking part. That's the most complicated part. I just want them to practice the zipping and unzipping. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a bag that has a zipper on it. So this is just a pencil case. You can take a purse, a suitcase, anything that has a zipper on it. And you're gonna put motivating objects inside. It can be a snack that they love, it can be toys that they love. If they wanna draw, it can be crayons and markers. And basically, you're just gonna have them repeatedly open the bag to take the toy out that's rewarding. And then you're gonna immediately close the bag. So they have to do this over and over and over again. Just practice opening it. The way you're gonna do it specifically is you're gonna sit behind your child. You yourself are gonna hold the bag, and you're gonna practice just having them pull. So I want them to use these 2 fingers to hold onto the zipper and pull. So when I sit behind my students, what I do, if they're trying to use all of their fingers, I simply curl these 3 behind. I just sit behind them and I curl them away and I guide their hand. My hand is on top of theirs and I guide their hand to grab the zipper, and then I pair it with a verbal cue. So they pick it up and I say, open, and then they take out what they want, and then I close it up again really fast. So again, I close these fingers so they're only using these 2, and I have them grab the zipper while I am holding the bag, and I say, open. If you don't have a manageable bag like this, you can always use like a Ziploc bag that has this slidey thing. It practices the same skill, that targets the same thing. And again, put a snack inside, you hold the bag, and you have the child use just these 2 fingers and say, open. Once they get that part down, you are then gonna cue them to use both their hands. So they're gonna put one hand on the bag, one hand on top, open. But step 1 is just having them practice pulling it open while you stabilize the bag. Next step, they're gonna practice pulling it open while they stabilize the bag. So the next step, after your child has mastered zipping and unzipping Ziploc bags, suitcases, purses, lunch boxes, backpacks, the next step is to teach them how to hook and unhook with an object, most likely a jacket, in front of them. You could also use a zipper book if you have one of those zipper books at home. This is truly the trickiest part of zipping. So there are a few key details I want you to remember when you're teaching your child how to unhook and hook the zipper. The first key detail is I want your thumbs on top. So I want one thumb on top of one side, and I want your other thumb on top of the zipper on the other side. And I want you to make sure that this thumb is holding the zipper down. So the zipper is not like this. No, we want to make sure this thumb is holding that zipper down. So our thumbs are on top. We're not holding it like this. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna teach our kids that this is the food, this thick piece right here, and this is the mouth right here. And you're gonna teach them to put the food through the mouth. So feed the mouth. And they're just gonna practice this over and over again, making sure that their thumbs are on top The zipper is pointed down, and they're feeding the mouth, like so. Do this over and over again, and then once they've mastered that on their own, they're ready for step 3. So the third and final step of this whole process is to have your child practice zipping and unzipping on themselves. So I want them to put their sweater or jacket on, and we're gonna practice. So what we're gonna do is I want you to stand behind your child, and you're just gonna give them the exact same verbal cues and tactile cues that you've been giving them this entire time. So you're gonna instruct, like before, that their thumbs are on top. One thumb is on top of the zipper facing down, the other is on top of the other side. And you're gonna say, here's the food, here's the mouth, feed the mouth, pull up. Again, they're gonna have to do this over and over and over again to make it perfect because it is such a tricky skill. If your child can't get the unhooking and hooking part, no worries. Do that part for them and have them practice the zipping and unzipping part. With time and practice, they'll get this. Anyway, I hope that made teaching zippering a little bit more manageable, and I will see you guys all next time. Bye.